Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today we're going to be doing a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon deck profile, and I'm really excited to do this one because we just got Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon, which is an amazing card to add to this deck to be this awesome extender for the deck that helps out a lot of the issues that the deck had and just makes it so much easier to OTK in this deck, which is already really good at summoning big dragons that can OTK because literally every monster in the extra deck is just about a 4,000 beat stick, which is absolutely crazy. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell near so you can come part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below where you have all those awesome rewards you guys, like getting your name description every single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, or even getting to request a deck profile every single month you're a patron along with test hands. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. So you got to play 3 because it is a Galaxy Eyes Photon deck. And what it does is you can special summon this card from your hand by treating 2 monsters on your side of the field that have 2,000 attack or more. And then during either player's battle phase, when this card battles an opponent's monster, you can target that monster that's battling this card and banish both it and this card. And then any banished monsters by this effect are returned to the field during the end of the battle phase. And if this card is banished by the effect, or a monster banished by this card's effect was an Xyz monster, this card gains 500 attack for each material that Xyz monster had when it was banished. So this card can get really big. It's a really good card actually against Zodiac because it can really just hurt a lot of their boards because it can banish their cards and then they lose all their materials, which is kind of funny. We then play 2 copies of Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon. This card is really good, but you really only need 2. Like, I'm going to be totally honest with you guys, it's a ridiculously good card, but it's only a 2-of. If you play this card at 3, I have found it to brick, and in my build, to play it at 3, I played around with this deck a lot recently, and I just find it to be really a good card as a 2-of. Because when I played it at 3, I would brick and draw multiple copies of it, and it was just really bad. And when I would play it at 1, I wouldn't see it, because I did try and play it at 1, and it just wasn't good at 1. So 2 to me is the optimal number for playing this card. But what it does is, if you control a Galaxy Eyes monster, you can instantly special summon this card from your hand in defense position, and if this card is detached as an XZ material, to activate the effect of an XZ monster, you can take a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your hand or deck, then either special summon it or attach it to a monster you control as a material. Then, if you activated this effect during the battle phase, you double the attack of all number XZ monsters you control, which is ridiculously good, just to be able to get you some big monsters on your side of the field. So I have some really cool tech cards in the actual extra deck that's going to be able to make that even a better effect, but you just really need 2. We then play 2 copies of Galaxy Knight as well. Galaxy Knight, if you normal summon this card, it loses 1,000 attack, and you get to special summon a Galaxy Eyes monster from your graveyard, which is a really good effect just to be able to get you a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your graveyard in defense position, but at the same time, it has to lose that 1,000 attack regardless, and you can normal summon this card without tributing if you control a Photon or Galaxy monster on your side of the field. We then play Double Galaxy Brave. I really like the Double Galaxy Brave. It's even better now with the effects of your copies of like Trade In and your copies of your Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon. And if this card is in your hand, you can reveal a Photon monster in your hand, and you special summon this card to your side of the field, and its level becomes the level of the Photon monster. And if this card is normal or special summon, you can target 1 Galaxy monster in your graveyard, and this card's attack defense becomes the level of that attack and event. So for example, if you've already detached a copy of number 62 from a copy of Full Armor Photon, for its effects, you can actually target the copy of number 62 and make it a 4,000, 3,000 attack point monster to be able to just wipe through your opponent with Galaxy Brave. This card is ridiculously good on its own, but when it's combined with stuff like your copies of your 62, if it's in the graveyard, or even Galaxy Eyes Photon, it can special summon itself as a 3k beat stick, which a lot of people underestimate, but it's a really good card as a 2-of. We then play 3 copies of Galaxy Soldier. You send a light monster from your hand to the graveyard to be able to special summon this card to your side of the field, and it gives you a search upon special summon, which is a really good effect. And it also has the ability that you get to add like a Galaxy Soldier from your deck to your hand, and it's really good to be able to get you out on your side of the field a copy of Cyber Dragon Nova and then Infinity. We then play 2 copies of Photon Thrasher. Photon Thrasher is basically Cyber Dragon. It can special summon itself to your side of the field if you don't control a monster, and it's a 2100 beat stick. We then play 3 copies of Photon Vanisher. Photon Vanisher, to me, I really like it as a 3-of. It's always good when I see it. And it can be easily special summoned to your side of the field, because while it's in your hand, it must be special summoned from your hand while you control a Photon or a Galaxy monster, which that's all you play in the deck. So it's really easy just to get this card onto your side of the field. And when it's special summoned, if this card is special summoned, you can add a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your deck to your hand, which helps you not draw into them, because they're kind of not the greatest card to draw into. And if this card is detached as a material, or excuse me, if this card is attached to a monster as a material, you can banish any monster destroy a battle with the XZ monster this card is a material under. We then play a single copy of Photon Advancer. Photon Advancer is a good card in the deck too, because if a Photon monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand, and then you can special summon this card as a Photon Advancer once per turn this way, and it gains 1,000 attack if another Photon monster is on your side of the field. So it's a really good card just to be able to special summon to your side of the field and give you 2,000 monsters on your side of the field, or go into a rank 4, or link summon into your Soul Flare Dragon. We then play 3 copies of Photon Orbital. Photon Orbital is a really neat card because its main effect is that you're going to be detaching it as an equip spell to the graveyard and be able to add a Photon or Galaxy monster from your deck to your hand, which is a really good effect. But during your main phase, you can target a Photon or Galaxy monster you control and equip this card to that monster in your hand or field, and it gains 500 attack, and it can't be destroyed by battle either. And then you can send it as an equip card to the graveyard to be able to get its effect off, to be able to add the Photon or Galaxy monster in your deck to your hand. Now, this card's really good with Union Carrier, and it just did get a reprint, which made it a little bit more budget, which is super nice about it. We then play a single copy of Galaxy Wizard. I just like one Galaxy Wizard. It can increase its level to 8, which is really cool, and it has the ability to contribute it to add a Galaxy card from your deck to your hand, which there's a lot of Galaxy cards in the deck that can be really helpful in this scenario to be able to add from deck to hand. So that's it for the monsters. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn just helps the deck out a lot to be able to get you more extensions in your plays, which is really why you play this card as a one-of. I then play a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave just helps out a lot in the deck because you're going to be stopping your opponent's hand trap, so it's a ridiculously good card just to stop your opponent. So I play this card as a one-of. One copy of Reinforcements of the Army. Reinforcements of the Army adds a lot of your cards from your deck to your hand, like your copies of your Photon Thrashers, copies of your Photon Vanishers, and the other cards that you have in the deck. To be able to just grab them from deck to hand is just really nice to be able to do. We then play a single copy of Harpy's Feather Duster. Harpy's Feather Duster is just ridiculously good in the deck to be able to add from deck to hand, and being able to just pop your opponent's back row is just really good against your opponent to be able to stop their shenanigans against you in the back row. We then play a single copy of Galaxy Zero. Galaxy Zero is just really good in this deck as an additional Monster Reborn to be able to go off with additional plays. So this card is really good just to revive your Photon or Galaxy monster in the graveyard to use them for an additional XZ play. We then play 2 copies of Galaxy Trance. So this card is a little bit of a weird card. I've been playing this card as a one-of, but I bumped it up to 2 and I really like it. So basically what you do is you pay 2,000 and then you target a Photon in your graveyard and you special summon it, both it and a Galaxy monster from your deck with the same level, both in face-up defense. And if you do, each monster becomes 2,000 attack, and also their effects are negated, and you can only activate one of this card per turn, and you cannot normal summon or special summon monsters during the turn you activate this card except Photon or Galaxy, which is not that big of a deal because all I'm going to summon is Photon or Galaxy anyways. We then play 3 copies of Photon Sanctuary. Photon Sanctuary is really good because it special summons 2 tokens to your side of the field that are level 4, 2,000 attack, and 0 defense in defense position, but you're basically going to just summon these to your side of the field to tribute to summon a Photon, Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, or to link summon into your copy of either of your 2 link monsters that you play, which is Soul Flare or Union Carrier. We then play 3 copies of Galaxy Expedition. Galaxy Expedition is really cool because if you control a level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster, you can special summon another level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster from your deck in defense position, which is really, really good just to be able to get it onto your side of the field. And it's basically a 1-card XZ play, which is really cool because you're basically going to have monster already on your field and then be able to special summon something from the deck. We then play 3 copies of Trade-In because you have so many different cards in the deck that you're going to be able to discard, like your copy of Galaxy Eyes Photon, your Afterglow Dragon, Galaxy Knight, and Brave. So you play like around 9 targets in the deck for this, which is going to help you get your plays rolling a lot. I've had a lot of situations where I'll draw too many level 8s in my hand, which is why I actually bumped Afterglow down to 2 in the deck. But you play it in the deck this way because it's just super helpful to draw into your combo pieces with this card. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Tachyon Transmigration. So Tachyon Transmigration is a ridiculously good card in this deck, and I absolutely love it because you control a Galaxy Eyes monster, you can negate the activation of your opponent's spells or traps and monster effects activated before this card in the chain. And if you do, you shuffle all the negated cards into the deck, and if you control a Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon, you can activate this card from your hand, which we do play Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon because Afterglow makes it broken. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing a single copy of number 62. This is basically your starter card of the extra deck. It's a 4,000 attack point beat stick. It can get really big because if this card makes an attack or is attacked during the damage calculation, you can detach a material from this card, and then this card gains attack equal to the combined rank of all Xyz monsters currently on the field, times 200, which it already comes out at 56, which is really good. But it has the ability, if this card is destroyed by your opponent's card effect while it has a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon as material, you can special summon this card during the second standby phase after this card's activation, and you double its attack, but all damage your opponent is halved unless it has Galaxy Eyes Photon as a material, which is just really good as a card to just summon to your side of the field and have a big beat stick. We then play a single copy of Cypher Dragon, which is kind of like a Snatch Steal card where it takes opponent's monsters or mind control, where you can take your opponent's cards from them and be able to have them on your side of the field. The only downside of this card is that the monster that is summoned or taken by this card cannot attack your opponent directly for the rest of the turn, except with this card. So it's not that big of a deal because once per turn you can detach material, target a face-up monster opponent controls, take control of that card, and you cannot attack your opponent directly for your turn except this card. Also, you take control of the targeted monster until the end of the turn, but while it has the effect applied, its effects are negated, and its attack becomes 3,000, and its also name becomes Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon, which is pretty good just to be able to take your opponent's monster and make it a Cypher Dragon. We then play a single copy of number 107, Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon, which is my favorite of them all, and actually has a really awesome effect. So once per battle phase, at the start of the battle phase, you can detach an XZ material from this card and negate the effects of all face-up monsters currently on the field. And it also has the ability that their attack and events become their original attack and events, and if you do any of these during the battle phase, this turn, each time an opponent's card effect was resolved, this card gains 1,000 attack, and it can make a second attack during the same battle phase. So the really cool thing and the really cool interaction is if you have Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon, you can detach the Galaxy Eyes Afterglow, which during the battle phase, it will go off and be able to special summon your copy of Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, and this card activated during the battle phase, which doubles the attack of all the number of monsters on your side of the field, but it goes back down with its own effect, which is still pretty good, but it can attack multiple times, which is why I play this card as one of, and it makes it a little bit cool with your copy of Tachyon Transmigration. So, the next card that we're going to be playing is a single copy of number 90, Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. But Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord is a really good card because it has the ability that during your opponent's turn quick effects, you can take a Galaxy Eyes or Galaxy or Photon monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or attach this card material. And when your opponent's monster activates its effect, you can detach material from this card and negate the activation. If you do, if you detach a Galaxy card, you can destroy the card as well. One copy of Hope Harboring, it basically just negates spells. One copy of Full Armor Photon, which can overlay on top of any of your copies of your Galaxy Eyes Xyz monster, which is really good, and it can pop a card as well. One copy of Cypher Blade, because you can overlay it on top of any of these other ones as well. It can't be used as Xyz material, but it has the ability that you can basically pop another card by detaching a material from this card. One copy of Star Liege Photon Blast Dragon. This card is a good rank 4, which is the only rank 4 we play in the deck, but it has a really neat effect that basically, if this card is Xyz summoned, you can special summon one Photon monster from your hand, which is a really good effect just to be able to get you another monster in the field. And while this card has a material on the field, you're putting out a target monster you control with 2,000 or more attack with card effects. And also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects either. And your opponent's turn quick effect, you can detach a material from this card and target one Galaxy Eyes Photon that's banished in your graveyard, and you instantly get to special summon it back, which is a really good effect. One copy of Infinity, just to have additional negates, and it's easy to summon with your Galaxy Soldier. One copy of Nova, because you use Nova to summon Infinity. One copy of Felgrand. Felgrand is really good because it has the ability to be able to detach a material from it, and it's a light XZ monster that you can summon to your side of the field, and it works really well with your copy of your Afterglow Dragon, because you can detach the material from this card to be able to use its effect of Afterglow and prevent a monster and give it negation as well, but it's unaffected by any card effects of the card that you target with it. One copy of AA Zeus, because this card is really good in this deck to be able to summon after any of these monsters attacked and board wipe your opponent. 2 copies of Soulflare Dragon. Soulflare Dragon is ridiculously good in the deck too, because if this card is Link Summon, you can take a Photon or Galaxy monster that's in your graveyard and add it back to your hand, and during your main phase you can quick effect discard a Photon and 1 Galaxy card, or discard a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon to special summon 1 monster your opponent controls and destroy it, which is pretty cool with special summon. And 1 copy of Union Carrier to attach your copy of Photon Orbital to another monster, to be able to get your plays off, to be able to get a search. So basically make this with Photon Sanctuary, and then you get a search, which is pretty good. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. It's a really awesome deck. It is the OTK deck right now that everybody's playing, and I'm really excited to bring this one to you guys because it's ridiculously good and super fun to play with. I highly recommend you guys, if you haven't played Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, now is a perfect time to pick it up, because a lot of the cards were reprinted in Legendary Duelist Season 2, which is really exciting. So if you guys haven't played Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, definitely do it now. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell next so you can come part of notifications squad, and we'll see you guys in the next videos. See you later, guys.